What's up, everybody? This is JP. Another Thanksgiving has come and gone. Dad, you ready for Christmas?
I'm ready for Christmas. Thanksgiving is the official kickoff of the Christmas season for me, so I'm definitely ready.
Yeah, so I look forward to this next month. Anyway, welcome to the JP show. This is JP with my dad. We have a lot of sports to talk about today. Thanks for liking and subscribing to the previous episodes, and we hope you continue to do that. We appreciate the support. We're going to talk about a couple teams, the Heat and Warriors, and how they've been playing throughout the season, and what their future is going to look like. So
Sounds good, JP. So we want to talk about some of those current teams and what the NBA is looking like. I know you have some thoughts on it. You want to start maybe with the Heat?
anybody who knows me well, I'm a huge Miami Heat fan.
I know that. Yeah. So what do you think about the Heat this year? How are they looking so far? What's their biggest challenges, and what do you think they're gonna do for this year?
The entire Miami Heat is Jimmy Butler, and that doesn't just describe this season. It describes Jimmy's entire tenure with the team. In, tw- in 2020, he turned a non-playoff team into a finals team. In 2021, they got swept in the first round. Mainly because Jimmy had a poor series. In 2022, they made the conference. They took the Celtics to Game 7 in the conference finals, and now we get to this season. So if you notice, all four of those seasons, the team does better when Jimmy is good, is at his best. So and, and when Jimmy's not at his best or is not playing well, like we saw in the 2021 playoffs, the Miami Heat were struggling. We see we see several times where Jimmy Butler where the Miami Heat are basically saying, save us, Jimmy. Like we've seen down the stretch of games where he's literally doing everything, shooting, passing, defending, posting up. So, so, and that showed throughout this season as I don't think they're a 500 team right now. So, so, so my point is that I don't, as much as I love the Heat, I don't think they can win or the title or even make it to the finals, considering all the tough competition in the East and how they're relying too much on Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, it's kind of a sign of the game today versus how it was in the past, which we've talked about this a bit,
Yeah.
but the average scoring in the league now is what, like 110, 115, something like that. Like if you go out there and you score 35 points a game, but the average score that a team is getting is around 115, 120, that 35 points a game is not enough to really have a huge impact. Whereas, back in the 90s or in those times when you were people were scoring 80 points or 90 points, that 35 points a game would be huge. So to that point, you really can't rely on one player to be able to be the thing to pull you through.
We know Butler is capable of scoring 35 or 40 points a game. We've seen that in the playoffs.
Hmm.
But the Heat can't consistently rely on Butler to score 35 to 40 points a game night after night. That's not really his game.
So what do you
So
think they need? They need more shooters around them? Do they need, because Duncan Robinson's out right now. Hero's been kind of so-so this year.
Bam
Laurie, I mean,
Lowry is a 37-year-old 6-foot point guard.
right.
And, and Bam And Bam is solid, but he's not that kind of offensive player who can impact teams like that.
Yeah. So what do you think they'll do?
I don't know what they're going to do, but what they need is another star to be the number one option, while Jimmy can be the second option because that would be better for the Heat. So Butler wouldn't have to score 40 to give his team a chance to win.
No doubt. And isn't Butler hurt right now?
Yeah, he's out.
Is he? Okay. So yeah, I mean you can see where they're at now versus in the past. I know that's one of your favorite teams, and so we'll have to kind of keep our eye on them this year and see what they do. Yeah. So you also wanted to talk about the Warriors a bit. What are you thinking about the Warriors for this year?
So far they're looking shaky, and the reason why is similar to the Heat situation. They're relying too much on Steph Curry, and most of the other guys aren't really stepping up the way that we all expected them to.
Mm-hmm.
Klay has had a decent season, but he's not nearly as he's not as effective as he doesn't impact games like he used to. Jordan Poole has been shaky. Draymond Green's having a decent season, but he's not as productive as he used to be. So,
true. The thing about the Warriors... Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
I forgot what I was going to...
Andrew Wiggins?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Andrew Wiggins having a pretty good season like last year. But they can't just rely on two guys to carry the team offensively.
Yeah. The thing about the Warriors more so than the Heat is the NBA season is really long. And that team is so experienced and so battle-tested. I think they're very much aware of how long the season is. So they know that they can kind of pace themselves a bit until we get to the second half of the season and it's time to ramp up for the playoffs. So for example, Klay has been playing a lot better lately. I think he'll probably be streaky a bit, but for them, it's really about getting that rhythm together as we get to the back half of the season leading up to the playoffs, I think.
I still think it's way too early to say the Warriors aren't going to make the playoffs.
Right. No, that's my point. Yeah.
Agree with you. So what do you think the Warriors should do? What do you think their plan is going to be for the rest of the season?
For them, I don't think there's anything they need to specifically do. I don't think there's any player moves they need to make. It's just a matter of treading water through the early parts of the season. I think they're above 500, I believe, right now. So
yeah,
let them tread water a bit and get in position, and then make sure they figure out the rotations and see exactly what's going to work as they get ready for the playoffs towards the back end of the season. It's a long season. They got plenty of time.
I don't want to use the excuse saying, "Oh, they're just going to get better by the playoffs," but this time I'm going to have to agree with you there.
Again, their experience. They've been there before. They're battle tested. They have some players that are older, so they can't just be going, 100% every night for the whole long season and then be fresh for the playoffs. So I get that a bit for that team.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool. So we talked about the Heat a little bit, talked about the Warriors. I know that on our next episode, you want to continue this conversation a bit. What two teams do you want to talk about then?
The Nets and Lakers.
Okay. All right. We'll see. Lakers, I know, was one of your favorite teams as well, and definitely interested to hear what you have to see about the Nets. So y'all will have to tune into the next episode of the JP Show to see what we think about those teams. In the meantime, again, please be sure to share the podcast, click like, put in the comments what you think about it. Thanks, everybody. Kick it over to you, JP, to sign us off.
Peace.
Peace.